Good afternoon. Welcome into another episode of From Day One. The courts are ready with Father Skeptic along with us.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have two Richards in court who can't shut their dick holes long enough to save their own asses. So let's begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lydia Fields, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Davis. We would waive formal reading and stand mute at this time.
The court will enter a not guilty plea on defendant's behalf. Have you had an opportunity to pre-try this?
No, Your Honor, but I did speak with Mr. Davis, so I'm prepared to argue bond.
Okay.
Your Honor, we are requesting that the court allow Mr. Davis to continue to remain in the community on personal bond, and would ask that the court consider ordering no-cost alternatives. I believe that attending AA meetings twice a week, or also going to community corrections for drug and alcohol testing would be less burdensome than a sober link, as Mr. Davis does not currently have the funds to be able to, afford onerous requirements on bond. And I think that these lesser alternatives would still achieve the court's goals of keeping the community safe with this charge.
Ms. Willingbrand, what can you tell me about this case before I set a bond?
This was a stop by police with an alleged BAC of 0.15.
Can I say something?
You know, Dick, it's never a good idea to revoke your right to remain silent, especially when you have a well-qualified public defender who can speak for you. But then again, I wouldn't be making this video if you actually did what was best for you.
That's up to you and your attorney, sir.
Mr. Davis, I would advise you not to discuss any of the charges themselves and only to talk about conditions of bond if there's something you want to say to the judge about that.
That's the only thing I want to, cause I usually work, so like to be able to make AA and all that, I don't got all that. I just got a ticket, and the ticket resolved in this misdemeanor, and I just want to get this all took care. If I could get it took care of quick as possible, Your Honor.
Well, Richard, unfortunately for you, driving under the influence in Michigan is a criminal misdemeanor, not a civil one. Which means you're going to have to go before a judge to get this taken care of, and you're not going to be able to just pay your way out of it.
But I never got locked up for this. I never faced none of this. Obviously, this is what this hearing is about. I'm not trying to go in there fast and talk over the woman that's representing me, but AA and all of that, I did like some type of thing like that, like when I was younger. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to resolve this as quick as possible. Like I'm talking about as quick as possible. I don't need to be.
Mr. Davis, I'm gonna have you stop talking because I think you're gonna start digging yourself a hole pretty soon. I'm gonna set a personal bond, $1,000 in this case. There's to be no use of drugs, alcohol, or marijuana. No leaving the state of Michigan without permission. I am gonna order that you report to community corrections within 24 hours to be placed on a SoberLink device to begin testing your breath twice a day. Once between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
Well, hey, bro, the only other option you have is that they send your ass to jail. And I guarantee you that if they test Dick's breath, it comes back positive for crayons.
Between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and again between 9 p.m. and midnight.
Can I say something in my defense?
Go ahead, go ahead, sir.
I've been out here all this time. I haven't had no run-ins with about no drinking or nothing, so I don't gotta be put on no device. And if it came down to this is
Mr. Davis, if you want to remain on bond, I have to make sure that you are not drinking, and this is how I'm going to make sure you're not drinking.
I couldn't do it off of my word, Your Honor.
No, hell no. Especially since you just spent the last 5 minutes trying to convince the judge that you wouldn't be able to follow her orders.
No,
Why
sir.
I gotta go through all of
Unfortunately,
that?
I cannot take you at your word.
Well, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not finna be nobody toy over something that didn't occur how it happened.
Mr. Davis, this is the court order. If you want to remain on bond, then you need to follow these bond conditions. You also need to report to the Saline Police Department to get fingerprinted before your next court date. Do you understand that?
I'm trying to understand everything you're saying, but you talking about 2 days out the week, where I'm gonna get transportation to make it up there every day, 2 days out the day to go do some shit like that, Your Honor.
Watch your language, Mr. Davis.
Sorry.
How's the case? People versus Jason Maples.
Rob Dow on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Calvin Hawthorne, Public Defender Fellow, requesting permission to appear before the court. With and on behalf of Mr. Maples under Michigan Court Rule.
No. Listen, did you print off the thing on my Facebook to show the judge about my psychological exam? No.
Hey,
I'm going pro se.
No need to show us your psychological evaluation, Dick. You've convinced us all you're crazy.
I fired him. Yes, sir.
Sir.
I fired him.
Okay.
He's not my attorney.
Before you can fire him, I have to give him permission to practice.
In effective counsel. He was supposed to provide you with documentation about my psychological exam. He didn't. In effective counsel.
May I continue, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. So I was requesting permission to appear before the court on behalf of Mr. Maples under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 and the supervision of First Assistant Public Defender Kalina Anderson.
Permission to practice is granted.
Thank you.
All right, Dick. Now you can fire your much better qualified public defender and go pro se.
All right. I have before me orders for competency examination. Is that what you wish?
Yes, we are requesting to reschedule those hearings.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. You're not even representing me. This is okay, I'm not continuing with this.
Sir?
Mr. Maples, we met yesterday and discussed
let
this.
me ask you this. Mr. Maples,
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
documents that you wanted the court to shown to the court, what did you want the court to know?
That I've been preparing for these trials since October of last year. I took a psychology book, dissected it, put note cards on my wall.
Oh, I didn't realize that you dissected a psychology book and made note cards. Now I really want you to go pro se, Dick.
And put different angles of views of different things. We're talking about brain synapses. We're talking about my ADHD, all the things that they're accusing me of being. I took it. I also have documentation of me at the library, I was doing my case law studies for all these trials and combining with, I had some journal entries I had to my son explaining, listen, I have a son that turned 18 years old. I have not seen my whole life because of this and this, and this, okay? I want my son to know the truth.
You know, it really pisses me off when all these criminals start using their children as excuses for committing crimes. Because trust me, it's not the system's fault that this dick is behind bars. In fact, don't trust me. Let this dick flute tell you for himself why he can't spend time with his son.
I purposely, listen, a Ann Arbor police officer stopped me when I had my Bill of Rights, my Constitution, my We the People on me. I had a methamphetamine pipe with me with rock salt in it. I set the police officer up.
And how'd that work out for you, genius? Not to mention, you just inadvertently admitted to possessing a methamphetamine pipe. Keep in mind, everything he says can and will be used against him in court.
He made my Constitution, my Bill of Rights.
Okay, all right, Mr. Maples, your attorney is doing a great job because he's putting something before me in terms of getting the examination on it so that all of those issues that you're discussing can be put before the court. He is doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Okay,
So
could I get some
a
paper?
request for his discharge is denied, first of all. I will sign the orders for a forensic evaluation. Certainly that's warranted. I will set a competency hearing date for August 11th, 2022, 9 a.m.
Can I go to treatment while I wait here? Listen, I want to be pro se so I can use the law library. You won't let me, listen, you have books in our jail with knives on it.
Am I the only one who noticed that he didn't mention the words in the book? I wonder why.
It has nothing to do with the law. and you won't even let me go to the library and represent myself?
I didn't say that, sir.
Bye, have a great time. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Something tells me that this is not going to be the last time that we see these two dicks in court. So if you liked the video, leave a like. If you
Stupid.
Okay, look, I don't know who you are, Life 3, but you're about to be kicked out of the courtroom.
I apologize, Judge Simpson.
Who are you?
Nathan Mason.
Got her. Okay, I don't want to ever hear that in my courtroom about anybody.
I apologize.
I don't know if that's going to be good enough, but I'll get you when you get to your case. Mute yourself.
Not a good start, Nathaline. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have a crack pipe Karen in court that we'll get to in a minute. But first, I have a follow-up to the pro se dick from my last video. So let's begin.
Court calls case, people versus Jason Maples. What are we doing on this?
This was a show, except for a show cause that neither me or Schnauzer got the community corrections report, but he's also set to get a competency review. So I'm not sure we can do a show cause at this moment.
May I speak? Here's 60
Mr. Maples?
Yeah, I wrote 60 pages for my trial so far. I mean, that doesn't show that I'm competent. I don't know
Mr.
what.
Maples?
Yeah, because only a completely sane person would write a 60-page essay to the court explaining why he's not crazy.
Front and back.
Your Honor, you can if we can adjourn it 1 week or two, I can.
When is his competency hearing?
In August. August
1st.
August 1st.
Or 4th, I'm sorry, probably. August 4th. Hold on one moment. Let me see what I wrote.
Is there any way you guys can do an exception for me to go to the law library? Because with you guys keep saying I'm not competent, I can't go to the law library and study the thing. Because once I am competent, I'm gonna represent myself.
Something tells me it's more than just your incompetency that's keeping you out of the library. Given that you're a sovereign citizen, I'm willing to bet that you've abused that privilege by filing multiple frivolous lawsuits to the courts and its officers.
So in the meantime, I have lawyers that are not even coming.
I have August the 11th as well, Your Honor.
All right. Set a show cause for August 11th, 2022, 9 a.m. I will also, I can't set a preliminary examination, so it's just a show cause that'll be set for that time at the same time as his competency hearing. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it looks like our soft sit dick will be sitting in jail for at least a couple of more weeks. So everybody can relax. Your lead paint is safe. So now let's get straight to the crazy with Nathaline Mason.
Court calls the case of the people versus Nathaline Mason. That's the one.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alexander on behalf of the people.
Ready again, Judge. Torshell Feaster, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Miss Mason. Miss Mason, please unmute and state your name for the record. Miss Mason, please unmute and state your name for the record.
Had a whole lot to say before.
Miss Mason, we're ready for court now. Would you please unmute and state your name for the record?
I already got in trouble because I thought I was muted and I wasn't. And this guy, he was calling this guy name. He was sitting there looking crazy. I was like, he looking off.
Miss Mason, we got.
But I didn't know harm.
Miss Mason, will you state your name? State your name for the record, please.
Nathaline Mason.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge Simpson's facepalm says everything you need to know about what's about to happen in his Zoom courtroom.
Today's the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. I've spoken to Miss Mason and to the prosecutor's office.
How'd that go? No, go ahead.
It's been rough, Judge. At this time, there are no offers on this file. If we could adjourn this matter, Your Honor, so we can hopefully get an offer, and if not, move it forward in another way to resolve it, Judge.
But can I just, may I say something?
No.
While that is some great advice for his client, what Public Defender Feaster should have known is that the only person that can tell Nathalie no is Nathalie.
What do you not?
I was ordered to pay $180, but I don't have an income because I'm disabled now. So I was trying to explain to him that I talked to a court clerk at 14A District Court. I called the bus back up there and talked to her and told her my situation. She said I could make a payment plan, which they never sent me through the mail.
Miss Mason, is that this?
Yes.
Because if that's not this case,
excuse me,
is that on this file? Because if it's not on this case, Judge Simpson cannot do anything about that today.
Well, which case is this? It got to be the one I went to. It got to be the one that I already got ruled on because is it a case from that I had a bench warrant on? It was a warrant out for me on this case because I didn't pay the $180.
Okay, you never had a bench warrant on this
Excuse
one.
me?
You never had a bench warrant on this one.
Is this the one where I had the crack pipe, the paraphernalia, and I got caught stealing from Myers?
No, this is the one where you were stealing from the store. Allegedly.
Right, from Myers, right?
Yep.
Nathalie, anything you say can and will be used against you. This is exactly why your public defender suggested you stop eating paint chips before court, and above everything else, shut the fuck up.
From Myers or from Myers or Home Depot? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And that's the one that you ruled on for.
No, this is Myers. This is Meyer.
That's
where
what I
you're
know.
stealing- You were stealing stuff.
That's the one that
allegedly. This has nothing to do with the crack pipe. That might have happened before or after. It has nothing to do with that.
It happened at the same time, Judge Simpson.
When are these dipshits gonna learn to stop snitching on themselves? The prosecution has a job to do, so it's in your best interest as a defendant to stop talking and doing their work for them.
Well, I don't know that. You gave me 180-day rule. You gave me a
Miss Mason,
$80.
Miss Mason, anything you say can be against you. So would you please stop until we can try to get this matter resolved? And we can deal with all that stuff at a different time.
Okay. So what's? I don't want to go to no trial. What's going to take place now?
Can we start with the 5150? And Nathalie, you see that finely dressed gentleman at the top of your screen? That's who you should be directing your questions to.
Okay. I was just going to adjourn it out so that everybody could talk to each other about it and get it. So I'm adjourning it to July 6th.
Thank you, Judge Simpson. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Defendant Mason.
So you heard Judge Simpson, and to her credit, she did come back on July 6th. And if you thought that I wasn't sitting at the computer with popcorn and proper headgear, then you're just as crazy as Nathalie.
Court does call the case of the people versus Nathalie Mason.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people. Assistant Public Defender Melissa Kleeman on behalf of Miss Mason. And ma'am, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
We do not have her checked in.
I have had contact with her. I asked the court for an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will issue on the 8th.
And in typical Nathalie fashion, she sat in court for over an hour. Her phone died for about 30 seconds. And in that small amount of time, Judge Simpson called her case. She failed to appear, and the judge issued her a bench warrant. However, she logged right back on and then sat there for about 15 minutes before speaking up and saving her own ass.
Excuse me.
Okay. Oh, who are you?
Hi, this is Nathalie Mason, but my phone keeps messing up, Judge Simpson. So I just wanted to know, did you call my name yet? It keeps like going out and then coming
Okay,
back
so
in.
you can't just interrupt the court. No, I didn't call your name.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we did call his name. Hold on.
Yes, we did call it, Your Honor.
Court recalls the case, People versus Nathan Mason. I will cancel the warrant.
Thank you, Jesus.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
No, it's Judge, but go ahead.
So let's listen to Defendant Mason plead to the not crack pipe charge.
All right. Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
I'm guilty.
April 17, 2021, at the location of 3825 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that being the Meyer store.
I know.
What did you do?
Went in and concealed several items into some bags and attempted to exit the store. I was stopped by, I guess, loss prevention.
Okay.
Stopped me on my way out the door.
Okay, and the items that the store was open to the public at the time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. These items that you took, these were items that were offered for sale by Meyer?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't have anybody's permission to take that property, did you?
No, sir.
And the total amount of the property that you took, was that in excess of $200?
I believe it was something. He said $400 or something dollars. I'm not sure.
So that would be more than 200, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow, I'm impressed. I honestly didn't think we were going to make it through that entire admission of guilt without accidentally confessing to another crime, like having an illegally low IQ.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be August 10th, 2022, 9 a.m.
August 10th, 2022 at 9. Okay.
Yes, that's when you got to come back and see me, but you got to see probation before that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Judge Simpson, I'm not going to have a warrant, Emma.
Why, you want me to give you one?
No.
No, please, Judge, no. We, the people of YouTube, need Nathalie out and about so we can catch her in a future Karen's in Court video. And Nathalie, don't do anything stupid that will preclude you from making it to your next court date on August 10th, because I'll be watching. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. But don't forget to comment.
And now a little bit of a Hyper Judy case while we finish the fight.
You want to be compensated for that in the amount of $8,000.
$8,000. Wow.
How long is your spot in existence?
1 minute. Nothing.
So, me and my brother, we did a lot of research. I was already doing content. Research is on the training. Absolutely. Okay. This is your daughter? Yes. Okay. Your last name is Cole? Yes. I want you to tell me what specific education you have and training to open a spa. So we have a certification in regular certification from who? From district institution. They're out of Houston. I do have certification in Houston. Did you go to Houston? No, actually the trainer was training out of Detroit, Michigan. So then my brother drove up there about 10 hours away from Minnesota. How long did you stay there? We stayed for almost a week. what you're telling me is your sole training for opening up a spa was a 5-day course that you and your daughter went to and got some certification from someplace in Texas? No, they were Detroit, Michigan, and I'm sure about multiple training. So there's different levels to body coaching. So we started off at the basic level. I want you to tell me, other than the 5 days training you had. Oh, sure. I had advanced weightlifting training. Advanced bodybuilding training. Correct. Yeah. That was through the same institution. So we do classes online. You opened your spa in 2019. Yes. Is what you're telling me the only training that you had was online training, other than the 5 days that you spent in Detroit? Correct. So there's multiple trainings that I took over the years. And that gave you a certificate. Multiple certificates. That's 5 days. Yes. I'd like to see it. Absolutely. I'm going to show it to you. This is the most ridiculous thing. So, you know that the Discrete Laser Institute, in recognition of the successful completion of theory knowledge and hands-on training practicum, and by the virtue of the authority vested, has conferred upon Tasha Cole, in recognition of successfully completing the non-invasive advanced body contouring skin tightening circumferential reduction and improvement of elasticity to skin ultrasound, radio frequency, LRO, and mechanical modalities, with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. In testimony whereof, the signature of its duly authorized officers are hereunto affixed. And Dr. Laws wasn't as worthy as could you look up this organization, please? Such a lot of different, John. What's this? Well, that's a certificate to be able to perform online things on top of numerous injections for the understand product. Where does it say you're allowed to give injections then? So it's in that training, like all of the training we did, it's in the paperwork, that's the certificate that the staff or trainers give us, but that's certified trainers. You can look those up as well. Absolutely. You went to their organization, you were unhappy with the way the procedure went, you say that you got an injection of something, and then you got very upset with them, and you had to go see a spiritual advisor, so you want your money back, but you want $8,000. No, that's not happening. And you want the rest of the money for her contract, because she didn't come back, she signed the contract, and plus damages for threats and defamation, and you acknowledge, at least in here, there was one needless injection made in the process. So the multi-dose hyaluronic cream, which is for hair, so there's no needle. We also show all of the items that we use to our clients. All right, you wanted a different kind of body. Can I see the contract that you signed? I'm going to make this a contract case. Contract, who has it? I have it here. Is a form online to sign up for this online program for non-invasive med spa business. Looks like you fill out the form, pay a fee. How much is the fee? It depends on what class you're signing up for, but online instructors cost $1,200. Online basic class $350, but I can't find the website for the institute itself. There's no website for the. That's just this form with a phone number. They're in where? Detroit? Detroit, Michigan. Look at Detroit, Michigan. I'm sorry, Kim. It was a training course that she actually went to this location, so it was multiple ladies in our training class. Just want to see if they do anything. You messaged her at 1 a.m. When again did you message her? It was continuous. I was just asking about. Just a second. What kind of nut does that? And then tells you that she's a nut. She called you at 5 o'clock in the morning when you were messaging her in the middle of the night. Give your sensitive skin even more.
New and improved Cetaphil piles are specially formulated with our science-backed blend of ingredients to improve your skin's resilience. Cetaphil, complete care for your sensitive skin.
Alright, I don't think the audio is carrying, so we're going to leave it here. Make sure you do like, share, and subscribe, be kind to one another, and release the Krakens as we carry along this afternoon and every afternoon here from day one. We'll see you tonight for the auditors and, of course, our Bell and Dreamland in the overnight.